Hey friends, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time for a refresh. In 5 minutes or less, I want to try and encourage you to be better for when things get better. Which, here's the deal, there's a lot happening in our world right now. It's obvious. And some of what's happening is good and needed, while other stuff is very bad and not needed. The question I think we all have to answer is what's best? And not just what's best for me, but what's best for human flourishing. I could be wrong, but in the conversations that I've had, what most sane and reasonable people, what they want, it's not special treatment, it's equal opportunity. It's what we all want. I don't need you to treat me different. I just need you to give me the same opportunity that's afforded to everybody else. And so let me give you an analogy. The lodgepole pine is a tree that grows typically in mountainous regions. It's an interesting case study because its seeds are covered in a tar-like substance called pitch, and so they can only reproduce after a fire. The seeds might drop off the tree, but only through intense heat can they do what they were created to do. Now, the same thing is true in your life. You'll likely never accomplish something meaningful unless you've been through a struggle. That's what makes life so rewarding. When you face something difficult and you come out on the other side stronger and better. But here's also something else that's compelling. These lodgepole pines, they might have their seed carried away by birds or wind or whatever else. A bear could eat the bird would ate the seed. Bear excretes the seed somewhere it otherwise wouldn't have been. And it just sits there until a fire burns away the pitch. So, natives don't like lodgepole pines because they're highly invasive. They start taking over after a fire. And here's my point. In your struggle, in our struggle that we're facing as a country, let's not waste our fire that we're in. But let's also not let an invasive idea take root and ruin the land. You tracking with that? My Bible reading had me my Bible reading plan had me in Proverbs chapter 3 the other day. I found these verses somewhat timely. Verse 29 says, "Don't plot harm against your neighbor, for those who live nearby trust you. Don't pick a fight without reason when no one has done you harm." I see a lot of fights being picked on the Facebooks and the Twitter right now. Verse 31 says, "Don't envy violent people or copy their ways." I wish some of these young people I've seen on TV ransacking stores would take that to heart. Don't envy violent people or copy their ways. Here's all I'm saying. I'm sure there's going to be outbreaks of other diseases in the future. I'm sure there's going to be more acts of violence on TV. I'm sure that these things are going to happen because I'm sure that sin is real, and I'm sure the only answer to sin is Jesus. So let's all make sure we plant the good seed of the gospel whenever and wherever we have the chance. And let's not let unwanted seeds of violence and bigotry invade our neighborhoods, because we can do better and we can be better. And yeah, it's going to be a struggle. That's what makes it worth it in the end. To that point, let's also make sure we're supporting each other. Because like Proverbs said, people trust us. Our neighbors trust us. I'll do what I can do to make sure New Anthem is always a safe place for you to come and hear from God. It's why we're going to continue to do home church and main campus church until we find another solution to accommodate people who need God's message of hope. So here's what you can expect moving forward. The same thing we do every night. Pinky tried to take over the world. No, we're going to keep offering church online and in your home and live at our office site. This is obviously new to us and probably new to you, but we're going to continue making New Anthem a beacon of hope where you can connect to God's purpose because you matter to us and you matter to God. And so there's a list of home sites on our website or a link in the email. But again, our live campus is at 9 and 10:30 at 425 East 61st Street, North in Park City. But we want you to find a place and a group of people to connect with because we're better together and we can get through this together. And that's my 5 minutes or less. God bless.